All right, so moving on to the final segment, we're going to be pivoting over here to the world of football inside the NFL world, and I'll be sharing my top 5 NFL wide receiver duos, ranking them from number 1 going all the way to number 5 on my list. So starting off at number 1, I do believe that Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins are the best wide receiver duo in the National Football League. They've been dominating defenses over the last few years, playing alongside one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, Joe Burrow. These two wide receivers are truly special. Explosive route runners, great in one-on-one coverage, can be explosive getting yards after catch. Both are true number 1 wide receivers, and they're worth every single penny that they're getting paid out there in Cincinnati. Number 2 on my list, I will have the wide receiver duo of A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. A great dynamic duo. It's difficult to guard them in one-on-one coverage out there in Philly. They have a great connection with their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, in that offense as well. Number 3 on my list, I will go with Puka Nacua and Devontae Smith, a new wide receiver duo that we'll be seeing out there in LA with the Rams. Both are playing alongside Matthew Stafford, great route runners, and Sean McVay's offense. It's going to be fun to watch this year. At number 4, I will put CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. There are some great route runners. Definitely will be hard to guard them for opposing defenses this year, playing alongside hopefully a healthy Dak Prescott. And number 5 on my list, I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams, an underrated duo that is probably surprisingly on my list to some, but they did have an explosive year with the Detroit Lions offense last year, playing alongside Jared Goff. I got to give them their flowers. They were a great dynamic duo together. But let's go into a deeper dive of the reasons why I have these respective duos ranked from number 1 down to number 5. So, at number 1, Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins, they're number 1. Again, they are an explosive wide receiver duo. They have always played together, being in the NFL, playing alongside Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. The best trio that we have in the league offensively in terms of quarterback and receivers. They have been dominating since day 1 together. But both are true number 1 wide receivers, can make outstanding plays at any given point in the ball game. First quarter, second quarter, fourth quarter, game-winning drives, you name it. They are so dynamic together, explosive playmakers. They've dominated opposing defenses for years. Both are possess the speed, great body control receivers, yards after catch. They get the yak yards that you need after catching the ball, and they make the difficult catches that a lot of wide receivers can't make in the clutch situation. So I think they are tremendous players, but when you look at it, the Cincinnati Bengals did have to pull out their pocketbook to pay these respective offensive players, and it's kind of the reason why the defense is going to lack some depth for a while, because you had to pay Burrow, you had to pay Chase, you had to pay Higgins, but both Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins cost around $276 million, which is crazy to say. But they're worth every penny because they produce offensively. But they're the best wide receiver duo in the league, hands down. Now, number 2, I put A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith here for a reason. A.J. Brown, he's a big body wide receiver. He kind of has the build of a DK Metcalf. He's very strong, athletic. And pairing him up with a speed demon and Devontae Smith, it's really hard for opposing corners or defenses when you have to guard them in one-on-one situations with no safety help. You kind of could get burnt, and it could cost you 6 points on the board. That's how effective they are on the outside. They've been showing that for years playing in this Philadelphia Eagles offense. And Jalen, it's crazy when you have 2 wide receivers that are true number 1 wide receivers, but playing on the outside in a crazy Eagles offense that already has Jalen Hurts, a tremendous dual threat quarterback, Saquon Barkley, one of if not the best running back in football, one of the best offensive lines in football. It's hard to game plan and hard to defend these wide receivers, and they are hard to tackle when they get the ball in their hands. So I think they're effective wide receiver duo, and they're number 2 on my list. Number 3, again, Puka Nacua and Davante Adams. It's going to be the first year playing together in LA. This is going to be a special duo if healthy. This duo can easily have over 1,000 yards together, possibly 1,100 yards together. I think Devontae Adams is still one of the best wide receivers in the league, and he is a tremendous route runner. Can still make the acrobatic catches. Puka Nacua is tough in catching the ball in traffic, incredible hands, and they're going to be playing with Matthew Stafford, as I needed to take a drink, but they're going to be playing with Matthew Stafford and boy genius Sean McVay's offense. And in a perfect world, they would have had Puka Nacua Davante Adams and Cooper Kupp. But it wasn't in the plan, so Davante Adams will be stepping in for Cooper Kupp as Cooper Kupp is in Seattle. But I think this is going to be a tremendous duo out there in LA. I'm definitely looking forward to what Puka Nacua and Davante Adams can bring to the table. And then going back to number 4 of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. Look, I know I'm a Cowboys fan, but this is an unbiased standpoint. This is honestly an amazing duo. CeeDee Lamb knows how to share the ball in Dallas. For anybody that's thinking CeeDee Lamb's going to get pissed off, no, he's not. Do you guys remember a few years ago in the 2021 season when all healthy and nearly at their peaks, there was a trio in Dallas of Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. They all didn't play together a lot because it was either one guy in the lineup, Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, basically suffering injuries. But he knows how to share the rock. And he did have to share the workload with Amari Cooper since he was drafted to Dallas in 2020, before he became the official number 1 wide receiver for the team. So he knows how to share the ball and likes to see others succeed in the Dallas Cowboys offense over the years. And George Pickens, for anybody that's thinking that he's going to come in with a bad attitude, it might show at times. But you got to think about this as a player that's very passionate, wants the ball in his hands because he has the playmaking abilities to change a game at any moment. And he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder, guys. It's not just like a throwaway year for George Pickens. No, this is a contract year. Whether he comes back to Dallas or goes elsewhere in free agency, he needs this to be the best year of his career if he wants a big payday. So he's coming in with something to prove in a contract year. When you look at CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, they're both tremendous route runners, great playmakers in open space. And if George Pickens can accept the fact he's a true number 2 playing alongside one of the best receivers in the league in CeeDee Lamb, this offense can take over the league with a healthy Dak Prescott playing in this offense. I think this is going to be a special duo that can translate to being a special offense that could go back to averaging 25, 30 points a ball game. We'll see, but I think they're number 4 on my list. And then number 5, I do have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. Look, a lot of people might say, why don't you put Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison here, or another duo here? But you got to give the credit to St. Brown and Jameson Williams. They were a perfect duo in Detroit last year. And St. Brown's was Amon-Ra St. Brown is a tremendous route runner. With Jameson Williamson, who has the tremendous speed. We know he was a speed demon when he played his collegiate days at Alabama a few years ago. But he finally showed it and broke out of his shell and had his best year of his NFL career last year. At over 1,000 yards. Both of these receivers had over 1,000 yards in that Ben Johnson-led offense. So they both have the speed and the route running skills to take the top off of defenses. I think this is a really good list. But we'll see which NFL wide receivers will be a top 5 unit in the league this year and helping their respective offenses put up points on the board and be opposing defenses nightmares when they match up against these respective wide receivers. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode.